from LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big early mornings broadcast here on LALATE with incredible great new details about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021. In this recording, we're going to go over the breaking news that came in on Friday evening as Chuck Schumer confirmed my reporting. The voting is underway. We are doing reconciliation. I have all that incredible great news in this recording, and we'll go over how much you're going to get in the fourth stimulus check package. Then the second half of this recording, we're going to go over the raising up your benefits, including my veterans, under fifth stimulus. We'll go over how much you're going to get and the breaking news about that as well. Then, in the middle of this recording, we're going to go over the thousands of dollars that viewers get all day long. We're going almost every hour. Another viewer gets the money. It's your turn. I want you to get the money as well. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. I'm excited for you to get this money. It's going to be a big early mornings broadcast. I'm here with you all weekend long. Let's get to the money. Let's get to the details. This is Early Mornings LALATE. Hoping you are having a beautiful day this Sunday morning. How are you? Tell me how the weather is where you are this Sunday and where you're tuning in from. Here in Santa Monica in Southern California, it is beautiful this Sunday. It was very gloomy on Saturday, but today, this Sunday, it is getting good to start. Hope the weather is good where you are and drop in the comments. This is a big early mornings broadcast with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 today. In this recording, we'll go over Chuck Schumer's statement from Friday, the 8 other breaking news stories about this, and also how much you're going to get. Then in the second half of this video, we're going to go over fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up, especially if you're a veteran, and the benchmark, how it's going to change your life. And then in the middle of this recording, we go over the big money, thousands of dollars that viewers are getting every few hours from this channel, and I want you to get as well. This is LALATE, your only 24-hour a day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Currently live, still on the channel right at the time of this show, is our Overnight LALATE live crypto show. So jump into that show when you're finished with this one and chat with your friends. Also, like this video and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The link's at the top of the channel in the pinned comment. But at least subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. So hit that subscribe button. Let's start first with that fourth stimulus check and understand how much is at issue here before we get to that breaking news. Jalapal wrote the House bill of this. And Jalapal's House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. But if you're watching the show when it debuts at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, get ready to vote in the live chat if you like House or Senate and where you're from. And if you're watching later that day, post in the comments to the video. So Jalapal's House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate plan, on the other hand, provides a stimulus check from July to December. But before you vote on that, let's go to the details of how they compare and contrast. So the Senate proposal provides $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. And the Senate amount is unknown, but word on the street is this. Oh boy, $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. Senate proposal. But let's go back to that Jalapal bill because there's a macroeconomics issue at hand here. Jalapal's bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. But if the pandemic is over by the time of the vote, then Jalapal's bill would provide only stimulus checks for 12 months. That would amount to 12 months of stimulus checks, which under Jalapal's bill is $13,000. There you go, $13,000 versus, $13,000 in 12 months versus this in 6 months. So which one do you prefer, House or Senate? Drop in the comments which one you like, House or Senate. And now let's go over the other details you need to know about what's in a forced stimulus. First, who gets it? If you're a veteran, you get the forced stimulus check. Anyone who got a third stimulus check would get the fourth stimulus check. Single individual, $75,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Double it. Household, 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And yes, if you're on benefits like a veteran, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. Is there a different stimulus check amount for adult dependents or minor dependents? For non-dependents? No, everyone is getting the same stimulus check. Is it coming in waves? It can't come in waves. It's a monthly stimulus check. There's no time to do waves. Is it taken out for taxes? It's not income. It's not taxable. Do we know anything about child support? No. And how and when are they doing this? A two-step process currently underway, and that's called a reconciliation. Finally, remember, I'm just a reporter. I report the news. I don't make representations. They make the representations. They represent the vote would be no later than July 4th, which means the first check would be in the month of July for the month of July, and in the month of August for the month of August. So there you go. That's your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 to start today. But I got the breaking news from Chuck. I have all the other breaking news about what has been said about all this, and it's coming up in just a second. But let me give you a preview of the second half of this recording in which we go over fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus will raise up everyone's benefits to a big new number, especially my veterans. But that's not how good it stops. That's not where the goodness stops. It continues with a new benchmark, inflation. And that benchmark may be the highest number of a generation, which means it could change your benefits a lifetime. Those breaking details are coming up in the second half of this video. But now let me turn to the big money available for you across the board. You have been killing it. You have absolutely been killing it. We are going no less than maybe an hour at a time before someone drops a comment somewhere in the live chat, on the comments of the video, or on social media or private message to me saying, I got money for rent. I got money for utilities because of your show. I love that. You're taking these videos and you're empowering yourself to get this money. And so if you've gotten money, I want to get you some more right now. And if you haven't, I want you to get a pen and paper because I'm going to get you money starting right now. First, $350 billion of it. The federal government in the third stimulus package approved billions of dollars to go to the city, county, and states for you. And that money started last week and it's coming next week as well. So get that pen and paper ready with the first item, which is rent. It's about $5,000. Rent, renters' utilities, homeowners' mortgage, and homeowners' utilities have been landing at cities and counties and states. 6 locations. So if one location says no, reach out to the next. They have different eligibility and they have a different pot of money. And so let's get to that money right now. Where is it? You ready? Here we go. Get that pen. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. The key words you're going to say is rent assistance because of COVID or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't use the word stimulus. And you can say the word Biden Economic Recovery Act. There you go. $5,000 for rent, approximately 4 to 6 months. Go get it. We are killing it. Tim got some money 2 days ago. Another viewer Linda got money yesterday as well. Boy, let's now turn to the second pot of money, and that is SNAP. Lynn got some and her son got some, so let's go over this detail for SNAP. SNAP is incredible. What is SNAP? How do you get it? How much is it? And when do you receive it? So let's go over the details. Eligibility for SNAP is like eligibility for stimulus check. What is SNAP? It's money for your food. It's money for your food. Where do you get it? Department of Agriculture, DOA. You want to reach out to Department of Agriculture or call 211. And how much money is SNAP? It's a fortune. It's a fortune. A family of 4 in Hawaii is now getting upwards of $16,000 a year. Why so much money? It seems this is like a lot. It's because of 2 executive orders, great executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raised everyone's benefits for 1 year by 15%. Finally, how and when do you get it? Shortly after you call them up and apply. And there you go. $5,000 for rent, $15,000, $16,000 for SNAP in Hawaii. We are killing it, and so are you. But I got more money for you, and it's starting right now. We're only 10 minutes of the video. We're doing really great. This money is coming from two sources, and I had one viewer last night, 2 nights ago, step forward and say, tell the viewers I got the money. They're going to get it too. Say positive. I love him. More about him in a second. So let's go over the details. First one is money back from your state. I'm going to go over how much money this is, how you're going to get it, and when you're going to get it. All right. One viewer got $5,000 for this, by the way. The federal government has ordered states to return money back to you. What's going on here? The federal government identified states as overpaying unemployment benefits to no fault of your own due to computer malfeasance, has now ordered the states to return that money back to you. Oh boy, this is a lot of money. One viewer, $5,000. So how are you going to get the money? In the bank account you have on file with your unemployment department. Finally, when are you getting the money? It all depends. Some states have started to pay it out. Some have not. Different routing times. Reach out to your respective states. It is automatic money. For routing times, reach out to them. And then we got to that viewer from 2 nights ago. This is the unemployment benefits this is the taxes on your unemployment benefits being returned by IRS. The viewer got it on Friday. Can you imagine this viewer, how wonderful he is? He jumped into the live chat of the overnight crypto show, which has nothing to do with unemployment, to see that I was there and say, tell the viewers I got my check on Friday. Tell them to stay positive. They're going to get it as well. Oh boy, what a nice person. This on top of the other viewer who got $2,000 for her money. So let's go over how much this is, when you're going to get it, how you're going to get it, and how you can track it. All right, this is the taxes you paid to IRS on your unemployment benefits in that 2020 return. The example is the following. You had $9,000 of unemployment benefits. You filed a 2020 tax return. Your total tax bill was $5,000, of which $4,000 was your taxes on the unemployment benefits. Congratulations, you are getting $4,000 back from IRS. Next, how? A beige or white envelope. Watch that mail. Laser focus, because the mail will have in there that white or beige envelope from IRS Treasury with that check in there. It's razor thin. You don't want to miss it. Finally, when? Yes, that viewer got his on Friday. Another viewer got theirs early in the week. But IRS made very clear that all payments will be sent out by the end of May. Sent out, not received. Remember, it's sent out, not received. So you could see it as early as the second week of June. He was a phase 1 person. So phase 1 was single filers, non-complicated returns. Phase 2 are single filers, complicated returns. And phase 3 are joint filers. So they're being sent out. They were sent out in the month of May, but the phase 1 went first, then 2, then 3. Finally, tracking it. 70% of the time you can track the payment by going to irs.gov. Sign in there, set up a username and password, put your social security number in there, and you will see when you paid your 2020 tax return, when you filed it, and when they issued the refund. Great news, and it gets even better with Leader Schumer starting right now. Leader Schumer on Friday confirmed all my reporting of the last 2 weeks on timelines. He announced on Friday that the reconciliation process had already begun, that the reconciliation process will be done and finalized by the first week of July, that the president may continue to have bipartisan negotiations with the Republicans, but the legislators are not holding up the vote. They're going right to voting. So there we go. Very exciting news. And let's go over the 8 breaking news stories that led up to that announcement by Chuck Schumer on Friday. First, Jalopal. Jalopal wrote that House bill which provides a stimulus check monthly for Americans under the House bill. Well, when Jalopal introduced that bill, 100 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, when we do the 4th stimulus package, we're going to put in Jalopal's monthly stimulus checks. So what did Jalopal do about a week ago? Jalopal started the ball rolling for the voting by writing Schumer a letter saying, what are we waiting for? Call the vote. I think that's now worked, because I think Jalopal's letter has now worked again. So Jalopal's letter was not just by Jalopal, but also co-signed. By who? By over a dozen House members who are among those who had signed that letter to the president saying they're putting monthly stimulus checks in the 4th stimulus package. Wow. Then it got even better. A week ago, last Friday, 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, when the 4th stimulus package is called for a vote, we are going to put those multiple stimulus checks in there and work with you on this. So what does work with you mean? It is a euphemism, because the president doesn't write legislation, Congress does. So who are these people to say we're going to write it? They are in the House subcommittee that is exclusively and solely tasked with the duty to write about stimulus checks in any such legislation. They wrote the first stimulus checks, they wrote the second stimulus checks, they wrote the third stimulus checks, and they are now telling the president 1 week before Chuck Schumer called the vote last Friday, we are writing about the fourth stimulus checks. Wow. Oh, that is the House Ways and Subcommittee's 7 members writing the president a letter. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. 1 week ago, they're saying we're putting the monthly stimulus checks in there. Unbelievable. Now, the president continued to make it even better last Friday, not this Friday, but the Friday before that. He said, I'm going to give the Republicans 1 week. After that, we're calling the vote. Well, 1 week came up this Friday, and that's when Chuck Schumer said, we're calling the vote. Then, this last Tuesday, the president had incredible great news. A little complicated, so I'm going to slow this one down. The president's paying for the fourth stimulus by raising the U.S. corporate tax rate, currently at 21%. So where does the president what is the president doing this last Tuesday about that? Well, he had reached out to global world leaders, and those global world leaders, he approached them about raising the global minimum corporate tax rate among G7 countries. What's a global minimum tax rate? What does that mean? He wants it at 15%. What that means is that if you have a business in the United States, you would not want to relocate it to France because the global minimum corporate tax rate would be raised too much that it wouldn't save you money. Good news, but it got better. When the president told insiders that after the fourth stimulus becomes law, if he can get those G7 countries to sign on the dotted line about the global minimum corporate tax rate, he will drop the U.S. tax rate back to where it was before we started. Oh, boy, that's good. And it got better on Wednesday when those House Republicans introduced their three of them, introduced the counterproposal, and the president said, no, call the vote. And then Thursday, the senators you've been wondering about, those Senate Democrats, came out and said, we saw the counterproposal from the Republicans. We're not waiting. We're calling the vote, which brought us to Friday when Leader Schumer said, thank you, Mr. President. You can continue to have lunches with whoever you want. But for purpose of legislation, we are calling the vote, and we will be done by July 4th with our reconciliation. Incredible. In the second half of this video, I'm going to go over how that voting process works. Stay with me. I'm going to have more exciting, great news about fourth and fifth stimulus. But first, I want you to get some money for rent. If you reached out to get the rent, utilities, homeowners help, and you can't find it, don't worry. Reach out to the volunteers in the community page. They're in the description of this video. Open the description. You see an emoji of a house. Next to that emoji of the house, there is a link to the community page. news.lalate.com/community. On that community page is a picture of some cats. Low on the page of the volunteers. Reach out to them and they can help you find that money for rent, utilities, and internet. And with that, I'll be back with 60 seconds from you. Be back with you in 60 seconds with more exciting news about fourth and fifth stimulus. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals. Reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica. on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Early Mornings LA. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing. I'm here, you're here, but the bacon is still missing. You think they'll put some bacon in the 4 stimulus package for me? We could need some bacon in the, Jalapal, make a bacon bill for me. There was the baby bill, why not the bacon bill? How are you? It's Early Mornings LA. I hope you're having a beautiful Sunday morning here. This is LA Live with you from Santa Monica, California. Hope the weather is good where you are. Drop in the comments where you're watching from and how's the weather. And this is going to be a big day. Coming up in the second half of this recording, more about 4 stimulus and 5th stimulus. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Hit that subscribe button. Share these videos on Facebook, Instagram, and Reddit. Also, like this video, 3,000 likes. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Later in this video, you're going to find out why membership is so important. Let's get right to that 5th stimulus starting right now. 5th stimulus raises your benefits and also raises my veterans' benefits. So let's go over that SSI reform and understand how it works, and it's starting right now. They're going to raise everyone's benefits, then remove the asset limit, then add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. All right, let's go over what that means, the calculation, and the breaking news, and what that means also for my veterans. First, they're going to raise your benefits up. Who? My veterans and everyone else. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits. They represent that all your benefits are going to be raised up to a big new number. Then they claim that that number will have a new benchmark applied to it. That benchmark is inflation. Now, we all know what inflation is, but what does a benchmark mean? A benchmark is what they use every December to determine whether to raise your benefits or keep them the same the next year. They never step down. So here is where we are with inflation. We're trying to figure out where that inflation will be in December. Jeremy Siegel 2 weeks ago said 20%. That may be high. This last week, the Atlanta Fed said 4 to 10.5% inflation. We're going from 4 to 10.5% growth. That sounds like about 7% inflation. And then analysts all last week said about 4 to 7% inflation. Let's use 6% as an example. Well, first they'll raise up your benefits. Then, in December, let's say the inflation is 6%. It would go up an additional 6%. Not just next year, lifetime. Because remember, once it steps up, it never steps down. So if the year after that, the inflation is 0, it doesn't step down. It still stays at plus 6. If the year after that, it's 2% inflation, then it's plus 6 plus 2%. Incredible. And now they believe that the inflation rate by December may be the highest of a generation. If that's the case, your benefits will be raised up now, and those benefits will never step down. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful news. Now let's go to the other items that they would change. They would remove the asset limit. So that is dating back to a 1980s law that says you cannot have more than about $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away. Just a guy trying to get those stimulus checks in the bank. Then they're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law. Awful, very old law. Says you cannot work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. So if you want to work $1,000, $2,000 a month, you can. And finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty. Awful. The marriage penalty is just horrible. It penalizes you if you want to get married. You lose benefits. And if you are married, you're penalized. So it's going to go away. And love is going to win. You'll be able to marry a longtime love interest and not be penalized. And if you are married, you will not be penalized either. That's 5th stimulus. How does that work? 2-bill, 2-step, 2-month process starting in September, out the door by about October, November, when you see the benefits hit your account. And then the letter in December for January's benefits. Now, here's what you need to know, is that a 30-minute video that's currently at, 24 minutes? Oh, we're doing good. In a video that's about 24 minutes with 6 minutes left, I don't have enough time to go over what else is in the 5th stimulus package. There's just not enough time. And while the president calls the 5th stimulus the American Family Plan, there's a lot of money in there for single people. The way you find that out, however, is by being a member. Every day I send out to members a link of what's in the 4th, the 5th, the 4th, and the 3rd stimulus package. I send out the PDFs and all the details of what's in each of the stimulus packages, so you know yourself. For example, the 5th stimulus has money for hazard pay. Single individuals, money for single individuals, money for single seniors. There's a lot of money in there for non-families in the fifth stimulus package. So that's the benefit of membership. The link's at the top of the channel in the pinned comment. Also, it's very important at least to become a subscriber, because the month of July is going to be a confusing mess because there's so many things happening at the same time. Here's an example. In the month of July, there's a budget bill. That's not the bills we're covering in this channel. It has nothing to do with stimulus. But you may look at it and say, is this a stimulus package? Then in the month of July, there's some other Jalapal standalone bills. Very confusing. Also in the month of July, fourth stimulus checks go out. But what also goes out? Third stimulus checks. Yeah, just a little confusing. And this is why a new poll from Politico is so important. The website polled Americans who are Democrats and asked them, do you know what's in the fourth stimulus package? Do you know what's in the fifth stimulus package? Over 50% could not name anything in either stimulus package. And those that could name something could name maybe one of two packages, one item out of two packages, almost nothing. They had no idea. So that's why knowledge is information. And with that knowledge, I want to go over now the voting time for the fourth stimulus checks. So this is what's important for you to understand, is that this is Sunday. We're 1 day away from the end of Memorial Day weekend, or 2 days away from the end of Memorial Day weekend. And I fully expect people come in on Tuesday, say, had they voted on it, and send out the checks. I want you to be empowered with the information that it's not a 1 day vote and a 1 day cashing a check. It's a 9-step process at least for approving these checks. And here I want to go through how it works. This is under the Constitution. This is not arbitrary. This is not made up by Nancy or Chuck. This is not dragging their feet. This is not because they don't care or any of those negative comments. This is actually what they're required to do under the Constitution during a reconciliation process. The first half is the procedural, the tow truck. The second half is the substantive, the tow hitch. And let's go over it. Step 1. The House subcommittee needs to call the vote on the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor has to call the total House vote on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate now has to approve the total procedural bill. And step 4, the President has to sign into law the procedural bill. Done for the procedural bill. The tow truck has passed over the finish line. Now time to do the substantive bill. The House subcommittee has to do the substantive bill. That's those 7 people we talked about earlier in this video. Then the House floor has to vote on the entire substantive bill. Then not 7, but also 8. The Senate has to have that 2-day vote-a-rama in which they make amendments and will show us what they want for those multiple stimulus checks during that 48-hour vote-a-rama, and they approve the fourth stimulus. And then finally, step 9, the President signs into law. 9 voting steps, nothing you can do in 1 day, nothing you can do in 3 days. So I want you to understand how this process goes. Ultimately, how we do on this channel is information. And if you see someone who jumps in the comments and doesn't know what something is, inform them. You've done a great job. People need to be informed, and the American government doesn't really do a good job of telling people how things go. So that is what you could do, is helping other people with keeping them positive, keeping them focused, and keeping them informed. And with that, boy, there is 2 other items I want to go over about fourth stimulus, and it's what else is in there and what is not in there. First, fourth stimulus will not have any more rent help or mortgage help. So the rent money and the homeowners' money is not coming back in the fourth stimulus currently. And the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance going away. So that's why I really want you to get that rent and utilities and homeowners help right now. And we don't go less than 24, we don't go less than an hour with a viewer saying they got some more money for themselves. So go really get that money right now. Number 2, those 7 members of that House subcommittee, House Ways and Means, have now talked about in that letter about extending federal unemployment benefits in the fourth stimulus package. This is huge. They give us no clarity about which items they are, but I'm going to stay on top of that. Finally, there's a reason why stimulus checks have so much support. And it's because as Americans get out of this pandemic, as the mask mandates lifted, as we get back to normal, there's one thing that's still sitting around, and it's debt. And that debt needs to be wiped out. The easiest way to wipe out debt is a big cash infusion over a short period of time. Senate, big cash infusion over 6 months, or House, big cash infusion, but over 12 months. Which one you like? Senator House, drop in the comments which one you like. And with that, thank you for joining me on a Big Early Mornings broadcast. I'm next with you on Mornings LATE at 9 a.m. Meantime, currently airing on the channel is our overnight live crypto show. It's a hit show. It's a lot of fun. Chat about anything you want to chat about. Say hello to your Pro Power buddies, and I will see you next on Mornings LATE. Subscribe, 400,000 subscribers for a reason. I got viewers $250,000 for EIDL last year, $25 million for EIDL last year, $250,000 for rent and utilities last fall, and now you are taking all that information and getting it as well. This is about cashing checks, not tracking checks. We aren't tracking checks. We're not dependent on one check on this channel. We are cashing checks and we're becoming financially stable. Also like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member so that you know what's in the third, fourth, and fifth stimulus package daily. Stay informed, stay focused, stay here, and I'll see you next on Mornings LATE. Have a beautiful morning. It's a Sunday morning. I hope the weather's good where you are, and stay with LATE for more.